follow, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be doing some cracking again. Okay, I think. So the only thing that I would mention is I would like to see a couple of Banshee Mines left behind just to kind of do a little bit of damage, just to kind of put the hunters on the idea that they shouldn't be aggressively chasing the Kraken. It's basically a mind screwing around thing. Oh, and he's got the Nomad. Nomad and Frog. Decides to skip the Nomad. Takes an interesting route. And just goes straight to the back area. If I were him, I would have just kept on going this way and then eat the Nomad. Then the scan would have happened around here, and then you could decide to go back or forward. I do like that they're cutting off a bit more this time. One thing I'd say to Josie is be mindful of your traversals. You're skimming the ground. I fall into the same habit. I need to look up more. Because I treat the traversal similar to Goliath, where you kind of look more horizontal than vertical. Oh, and it does look like that they might be able to get a dome here. Oh, maybe? Nope. And it does look like he's going to swing on past. Be very careful with the hunters. You could have split two on each side of the rock. Wouldn't have been a very serious, or wouldn't have been a mistake or anything. But going all four in the same, around the same corner, you always want to kind of, if you're on the back of the pack, you're the one that should be going the other direction, because it's hard for the people in the front to know what the people behind are going to do unless they're communicating, which I'm not hearing. Okay, and then Monster looks like he's going straight across, going to evolve in his same spot 4. They should have heard the spotter, so they should know exactly where he's going. So Banshee Mine's kind of in an awkward spot, kind of in the middle of somewhere. There's a good chance they might not go off, or there's a good chance that they're going to be spotted before they could use before they could be shot. Oh, and it looks like Voodoo Master takes all of them. Voodoo Master needs to get healed really fast, because here comes a lightning strike. Monster's going to follow up. Oh, yeah, Banshee Mines, Banshee Mines, Banshee Mines. Oh, and there goes Medic. You really have to time when to use a thing. Lightning strikes, if you're not going to dodge them, do about 670, I think 673 damage. So you have to be really careful with that. Got the 2 strikes and left. No health on the monster. Once again, you have to be really, really careful about that. The big problem there was that Widow took too long to get to the Medic. And so the Medic had to use all of her jetpack and then couldn't dodge any abilities. And once again, Banshee Mines were the reason for the death. Oh, Widow all by himself. This is going to be a free strike. What's he doing? I didn't see any snowballs. Yep, and that's going to be a free strike. Really out of position by Widow there, going around this giant pillar. So now the monster's got a lot more wiggle room. On top of that, oh, Medic decides to go to the body. Now, I guess especially against Kraken, you never want to go towards the body. Because that's just going to be prime real estate for the monster to hit 2 people instead of 1, and much more so than Medic. Medic can heal from a distance. There's no reason to get close. because all that's going to do is make the monster most likely to be able to just wipe you down. Yep, and that will be GG. GG.
GG. It seems like I overestimated my abilities as a medic.
Yes, you are definitely getting a little too close to the action. So the first thing is that you guys were actually in the perfect spot to dome the monster at stage 1, but all 4 of you went around the rock, ironically enough, the wrong side of the rock. And so basically, if you're in the back of the pack and you notice that the rest of your team's going one way around the rock and you're pretty sure the monster's around it, there's no reason not to go around the other one, especially if it's a smaller one like the one you guys went around. So the monster was able to dart away. I think that stage 1 dome would have made a bigger difference in the grand scheme of things and would have set the tone for the match. But unfortunately, you all went the back way, and then that was the wrong way. The monster wasn't going, so you weren't able to get a dome there. That being the case, Widow did face a lot of mines. Again, just remember, as soon as you hear that sound, that means that it is specifically near you. It's not like the spider trap where the audio is pretty much everywhere. The Banshee mines are pretty much only noticeable if you're nearby. So definitely, even if shooting one of them would have prevented the strike. But I did like that Widow was heading back towards the medic, but the medic unfortunately had to burn up all of the jetpack just to catch up to the trapper, which made it easy for her to get stuck down. Yeah, I honestly, I would, especially against a Kraken, I would never stay on the tracking dart for a couple of reasons. One, in case you want to get rid of wildlife, and 2, tracking doesn't really mean anything anyway, but most likely the time the tracking dart is going to be useful, you're going to have time to pull it out most of the time. Especially if you know the monster's in a back area and evolved, you can kind of just wait for the rest of your team and then dart it as it darts away before dome toss and things like that. But yeah, the big thing is never pick up a body, especially against Kraken, if you're medic. Like, medic can heal from a distance, so always try and use the healing beam on somebody that's down instead of trying to actually pick them up. Medic and support should be the last ones to pick up a body. Assault and Trapper are kind of like the basically they're the heavy lifters. They're the ones that try and pick people up off the ground, unless the Assault needs to help punish. But it's pretty much the Trapper's job. The Trapper's kind of a jack of all trades, does a little bit of everything. And so always just remember to head towards your medic so that the medic has plenty of juice in case the monster focuses Val. Val's healing is really strong, so she can kind of keep people up for a good little while as long as she has line of sight and you head towards her. Outside of that, it wasn't really much else to say. I did notice that Widow was really out of position. There were 3 hunters on when you were heading towards the helipad. 3 of you were going one way, and Widow was by himself. I didn't hear a lot of communication, so if you're at the back of the line, always tell people, hey, so-and-so, you're 100 meters from me, or from the rest of the group, because the biggest... wait, hold on. Oops, I pressed enter. Hold on. Okay, so the biggest thing is just make sure you communicate. Always let the person know. The hunter who's in the front of the line will never know what's going on behind him, and that's why that communication is really important. No worries. Bad communication is better than no communication for the most part. Okay, let's go ahead and do our game number 3.